Hey, how you doing, Salisbury? Coach Masters here. We're so grateful. I'm so grateful that you tune in and listen to Cross Training Athletics, building a character culture by training the heart of a champion from the inside out. Hey, remember that heart thing? A sound heart brings life to the body and the team. This year's theme, guys, I'm going to go over it one more time for you, is, hey, forgetting those things that are behind us, reaching forward to things that are ahead. We're going to press towards the goal and the prize of the upward call. So we want to press upward. Hey, guys, don't forget this. The goal. The goal is always love. And when we get the goal, then we're going to get the prize. Hey, let's get into this week's word. This week's word, process. Hey, the definition of it, taking specific steps or actions, all right, toward a specific goal, or to have a pathway. Why is that so important? Well, it gives you boundaries, all right? Boundaries we need in life. Otherwise, without boundaries, we start to take shortcuts, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But the 4 parts of total athlete, the spirit aspect of process, is simply this, that the process produces a perseverance. Perseverance then produces character, and character brings hope. If you have no process, you're going to be hopeless, okay? The process always gives us hope if we stay after the process and don't take shortcuts. Hey, quick story. Dallas Cowboys, 1960, they hired a guy by the name of Tom Landry. After an 0-11-1 season, the general manager, Tex Schramm, he wanted to fire Landry. He told the owner, fire this guy. The owner said, hey, you know what, give me the weekend to think about this thing. And he came back that next Monday and he told Tex Schramm, he goes, hey, Tex, I've decided on the Landry. He says, oh, good, should we clean out his desk? He goes, no, because I just gave him a 10-year contract. You see, Clint Marchison understood process, and he wanted to give Coach Landry a chance with his process. What did that process do? Well, the next year they were 3-9. And in 1966, 4 years later, they were playing for the NFL championship. Hey, what came after that? Another shot at the NFL championship. He had 13 division championship winners. He had 5 NFL championships and 2 Super Bowl rings. I guess the guy stuck with the process. Look at me. You can't even get a driver's license without a process. There's a process to everything in life to an end of a goal. Driver's license, right? You got to take the test. After you take the test, you're going to get driving hours. That's what we're talking about, process. Not taking shortcuts. There's no shortcut from 5th grade to 12th grade. All right? There's not a shortcut. So once again, I want to give the spirit aspect. Process produces a perseverance inside you. Perseverance produces that thing that's called character, and character always brings us hope. So let's get to the mental aspect very quickly here. You know what? The mental aspect is the path or the direction that we want to go. It's pressing to take action. All right, that's the bottom line. That should be your mental statement. Or how about this one, guys? Let's keep doing the simple better. Let's not take shortcuts. Whoever takes shortcuts will be found out. Which kind of leads me to my story. I like the quote by Dr. Kevin Alko, which says, see a little, see a lot, see nothing. But my story about process and shortcuts is basically this, that you might have seen these 2 things before, like this is kind of like hay and sticks. Then you have sticks and you have bricks. Well, the story simply is the 3 little pigs. This little pig here, bottom line, shortcut all the way, right? Not even shortcuts. He didn't even want to do that. All he wanted to do to play. Play. At the end of the season, sometimes we don't want to practice anymore. All we want to do is play the game. We don't want to. Well, we know what happens. If I put a match to this thing, when the heat comes, this thing is going to burn up in a heartbeat, all right? And then the sticks, right? The sticks, the pig who built his house with sticks. Well, the bottom line with him is that's the guy that's always shortcut in practice. He doesn't want to do the little bit extra. He doesn't want to make the simple better. He'd rather find some other way around it. What does that mean? Quarterbacks, you still getting that one big step drop, or you're being lazy right now? Are you going to the gap that you're supposed to, or are you taking the easy gap, defensive lineman? How about this one here? Anybody that's taking a shortcut, trying to do the easier way, I don't care what sport it is, you need to move your feet. There are no shortcuts, unless you're in the swimming pool, that is, okay? But even then you need to move your feet, right? You got to move your feet. There's nothing short of doing anything without getting your feet moving, all right? So last one, it's the brick. I mean, if I put a match to this thing right here, what's going to happen? Nothing. It's already been through the, yeah, you got it, Process. Yeah, there's no shortcuts with bricks. It's already been tested by fire. So when the fire comes and the heat of the battle comes, you're not going to be moved. You're not going to be shaken. Hey, Case, do me a favor. Throw me that other brick, will you? Attaboy. Toss it right over here. Thanks, Case. Yeah, 2 bricks. What holds these bricks together? The next piece of the process that we need, passion. Where does passion come from? Well, it's the mortar. It's the love that holds us together. With no mortar, we're but individual bricks. I tell you one thing, individual bricks are great, but if we want to accomplish anything great, it's called team. Together, everyone achieves more when they're in, I guess you guessed the word again, process. So we need to stay in the process. What does that look like? The work aspect? Well, simply this. The work aspect is all about perseverance. You just don't give up. You just don't quit. Cool story, Oakland Raiders this past weekend. This could be for anybody, anytime. They got a big back called Marshawn Lynch, and they're giving him the ball, and he's getting about 2 yards a crack. You know what? But they didn't give up on you got it process. Late in the game, he breaks one for about 67 yards. Now his average jumps to about 5.5. You know what? Folks, stay in the process. Don't give up. Don't quit. Shortcuts will not make it. You will not get that goal. And in the end, really in the end, if you're shortcutting it, you know it on the inside of you. You see, that's why an athlete of integrity competes with confidence. How do you get confident? You work every day. Proper preparation with passion will bring confidence. Those who take shortcuts will be found out. My last story is kind of like it's a hard one to tell, but because it's a team that I was working with. I went to them the last week before their championship game sectional finals. And as I walked up to the field, I saw that all the pads were off the sled, all the pads were off the tackling dummies. And I'm like, uh-oh, not good. Why would you take those off the week of the biggest game of your life? Well, they did. And when they went to the stadium to play in the sectional finals, they didn't block well and they didn't tackle well. I don't know what they did that week of practice, but their opponent came out on top. And unfortunately, I knew both teams, and I knew the one was still in process. See, process never ends. You don't graduate from process. You just build on it. That's what life's all about. You're in a process as a student. You're in a process as a player. You're in a process as a worker or a husband or a future wife. Stay in process. Be complete. Don't give up. Persevere to the end. So as we wrap this thing up today, remember, we always want to connect 3, right? Which is to value our teammates, want to give good eye contact, want to give good physical contact, and then we want to inspire them. This week, shake the guy's hand and say, hey, we're going to be a brick, and we ain't going to quit. We're going to be a brick, not a stick. Be a brick, not a stick. Let's stay in process. Love never fails. I'll see you next week.